I'm about to blow your mind with the craziest true story in business history. Adidas and Puma, two of the biggest sports brands on the planet, both started in the same small German town at the same time by two brothers who refused to speak for 40 years. Here's how insane it got. The town divided in half. One river, Adidas on one side, Puma on the other. You couldn't date someone from the other company. You couldn't drink at the same bar. People checked your shoes before talking to you. And when the brothers died, they demanded to be buried at opposite ends of the cemetery. Why? Because of 4 words in a bomb shelter. This story has everything: betrayal, war, paranoia, revenge, and billions of dollars. And it's 100% true. Germany, 1900. A small Bavarian town called Herzogenaurach. Population, 4,000. The Dassler family lived in a house on Hirtengraben Street. Father Christoph worked in a shoe factory for pennies. Mother Pauline ran a tiny laundry service from the back of their house just to survive. 4 children, not well off, hardworking, struggling. Rudolf was born in 1898. Adi to his friends came 2 years later in 1900. Rudy was loud, outgoing, charismatic, a natural salesman. Adi was quiet, thoughtful, obsessed with sports and how things worked. When World War I hit, both brothers were sent to the trenches of Flanders. Teenagers fighting in hell. They survived, barely. When Adi returned home in 1919, Germany was economically devastated. His mother had to close her laundry business. There was nothing. But Adi had an idea. He scavenged war-torn battlefields. He collected scraps of leather from abandoned military belts, holsters, worn-out boots. He found discarded machine parts and built a stationary bicycle-powered leather-cutting machine. His vision? Athletic shoes that were both strong and lightweight, something that had never existed before. He started in his mother's old laundry room. His first employee? Someone paid to pedal the bicycle while Adi worked the machine. 1928 Amsterdam Olympics. German runner Lena Rodke won gold wearing Dassler shoes. 1932 Los Angeles Olympics. Another gold medal in Dassler footwear. But nothing compared to what happened in 1936. Berlin, 1936. Hitler's Olympics. The first televised games in history. Hitler wanted to prove Aryan supremacy to the world. Every German athlete would wear Dassler shoes. The Nazi government basically demanded it. Both brothers joined the Nazi Party in 1933 to protect their business. Adi became a coach for Hitler Youth just to keep the factory running. But then, Adi did something absolutely insane. He approached Jesse Owens, an African-American athlete in the Olympic Village, with a suitcase full of custom-made track spikes under Nazi Germany, where African-Americans were targets of Hitler's vile ideology. This could have destroyed them. The German government could have shut down their factory. But Adi didn't care about politics. He cared about performance. Jesse Owens was amazed by the shoes. Hand-forged spikes, resilient leather, unlike anything he'd ever worn. He wore them in competition. And what happened? Jesse Owens won 4 gold medals: 100 meters, 200 meters, long jump, 4x100-meter relay. He destroyed Hitler's racial supremacy myth on international television. Overnight, the Dassler brothers' shoe factory became world famous. Orders flooded in from every country. By 1938, they had 118 workers producing 1,000 pairs of shoes for 11 different sports. The brothers were unstoppable. They were rich, they were legends. And then, World War II destroyed everything. During the war, production nearly stopped. The factory was converted to making military boots. But here's where the poison started. Both brothers, their wives, their children, Adi's parents, and other family members all lived in one house, one villa, crammed together. Adi's wife Kaith was assertive and hard-headed. Rudolf's wife Friedel was different. The two women hated each other. The tension was suffocating. In 1940, Adi was briefly drafted, but quickly released because the military needed the factory running. But in 1943, Rudolf was conscripted to the army. Rudolf was convinced Adi had pulled strings to get him sent to war while Adi stayed safe managing the business. The paranoia grew. Rudolf even deserted his military post and snuck back to Herzogenaurach to make sure Adi wasn't stealing the company. He was eventually arrested by the Gestapo and spent the rest of the war in prison, boiling with rage. Then came the moment that ended everything. An Allied bombing raid, air raid sirens screaming. Adi and his wife rushed into a bomb shelter where Rudolf and his family were already hiding. As Adi entered, he said, "The dirty bastards are back again." He meant the Allied bombers, but Rudolf, standing right by the door, thought Adi was talking about him and his family. That was it. That single misunderstood sentence shattered whatever remained of their relationship. When the war ended, American forces began denazification, punishing Nazi Party members. Rudolf was arrested on suspicion of being in the SS. Who did Rudolf believe gave the Americans that information? His own brother, Adi. Whether it was true or not didn't matter anymore. The trust was dead. In 1948, after 30-plus years of working together, the Dassler brothers' shoe factory was dissolved. The final negotiation to split the company was the last time the brothers ever spoke. They divided everything: workers, equipment, factories, assets. Adi kept the factory by the train station and got 2/3 of the employees. Most workers preferred his focus on innovation over Rudolf's sales approach. Rudolf took the factory on Würzburger Street, across the River Aurach, with the remaining third of workers. Now they needed names. Adolf Dassler combined his nickname Adi with his last name Dassler. Adidas. Genius. Rudolf Dassler tried to copy him. Rudolf Dassler. But it sounded terrible. He changed it to Puma, named after the powerful wild cat. Aggressive, athletic, perfect. The town divided. The River Aurach runs through Herzogenaurach. Adidas to the north, Puma to the south. These two companies became the only major employers in town. Almost every citizen worked for one or the other. And the rivalry became insane. Employees of Adidas couldn't speak to Puma employees. Marrying across companies was forbidden. Separate bars, separate bakeries, separate barber shops. People looked at your shoes before talking to you. The town got a nickname, the Town of Bent Necks, because everyone checked your feet first to see which side you were on. There was a joke during the Cold War. The only city more divided than Berlin was Herzogenaurach, and Herzogenaurach didn't even have a wall. The brothers didn't just compete, they destroyed each other. 1954 World Cup. Adidas sponsored the West German national team. Rudi was banned because of personal beef with the coach. Germany won. Adidas exploded internationally. 1970 World Cup. The Pele Pact. The brothers agreed not to sign Pele, the world's most famous athlete, because a bidding war would be too expensive. Puma broke the pact. They signed Pele. During Brazil's quarterfinal, Pele asked the referee to stop the game so he could tie his Puma shoes. Every camera in the world focused on his feet. Brazil won the World Cup. Puma's sales skyrocketed. The dirty tricks. Both companies hired teams of lawyers whose only job was to sue each other. New shoe design? Sue for patent infringement. New spike technology? Get it banned before the Olympics. Bribing athletes to switch brands, spreading rumors, sabotage. The rivalry consumed them. It defined them. But while they fought each other, they ignored a little American company called Nike, quietly growing in the shadows. 1974, Rudolf Dassler died, age 76. 1978, Adolf Dassler died, age 78. After 30 years of silence, they never reconciled, never spoke, never forgave. And when they were buried, they were placed at opposite ends of Herzogenaurach Cemetery, as far apart as physically possible, even in death. The feud passed to the next generation. Their sons continued the war for decades. Where are they now? Today's reality, 2024 to 2025. Adidas, €23 billion revenue, $23.6 billion, number 2 sportswear brand in the world. Puma, €8 to €9 billion revenue, $8.9 billion, number 3 globally. Adidas is the largest sportswear manufacturer in Europe. Puma is the 3rd largest sports brand globally. Here's the twist. The Dassler family lost both companies. Adidas. After Adi died in 1978, his wife Kathy and son Horst took over. But when Horst died in 1987, the family began fighting over control. The company was bleeding money. They lost $77 million in 1989 alone. In 1989, desperate and divided, the Dassler family sold the entire company for just $289 million to a French businessman named Bernard Tapie. A legendary brand sold for pennies. Tapie couldn't save it either. By 1995, Adidas went public on the Frankfurt Stock Exchange. The Dassler family ownership, gone forever. Today, Adidas AG is publicly traded with no controlling shareholder. It's owned by institutional investors, BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street, Groupe Bruxelles Lambert, 7.6%, individual public shareholders, 69% of the company. The family that built it, they don't own a single share. Rudolf died in 1974. His family held on longer, but the company struggled through the 80s and 90s. In 2007, French luxury giant Kering, owner of Gucci, Balenciaga, Saint Laurent, bought a controlling stake in Puma. By 2018, Kering spun off most of its shares. Today, Puma is controlled by Artemis Group, the private holding company of the Pinault family, François-Henri Pinault, one of France's richest men. The Dassler family? Zero ownership. Family drama destroyed both companies from within. After the brothers died, their children and relatives fought each other for control instead of uniting to run the businesses. Infighting, lawsuits, ego battles. While the families were at war with themselves, competitors like Nike crushed them in the market. By the time they realized what they'd lost, it was too late. Two brothers built empires. Their descendants lost them fighting over the scraps. And Herzog and Arak? The town that was divided for 70 years? In 2009, employees from Adidas and Puma played a friendly soccer match together for the first time. The town embraced both brands. The hatred faded. The division ended. But the legacy? It changed the world forever. Here's what the Dassler brothers taught us. 1. Competition breeds greatness. If these brothers had stayed together, we might have one decent shoe company. Instead, their hatred created two global empires that pushed each other to innovate relentlessly. Their rivalry transformed sports apparel into a multi-billion-dollar industry. 2. Family plus business equals danger. Mixing blood with business is playing with fire, especially when you force families to live together in one house. Money and ego destroy relationships faster than anything. 3. Obsession with revenge blinds you. While Adidas and Puma spent decades trying to destroy each other, they completely missed Nike rising. By the time they noticed, it was too late. Nike didn't have family drama. Nike had focus. 4. Misunderstandings have consequences. The dirty bastards are back again. One sentence, misunderstood, cost them everything. Communication matters. Assumptions kill. 5. Legacy isn't about money. The Dassler brothers died rich, but they died alone, estranged, full of hate. They're buried on opposite sides of a cemetery, symbols of a wasted brotherhood. Was it worth it? Billions of dollars, global fame, but they never spoke again. So the next time you lace up your Adidas or slip on your Pumas, remember, these shoes exist because two brothers couldn't forgive each other. They were born in poverty, built an empire together, and tore it apart over pride, paranoia, and one misunderstood sentence in a bomb shelter. Their hatred gave us brands we love, but it cost them everything that truly mattered. Adolf and Rudolf Dassler proved that you can win the world and lose your soul. The question is, what are you building, and what are you willing to destroy to get it? Choose wisely, because legacy isn't just what you leave behind, it's who you leave behind.